Okay, so this message is for anybody that is struggling, especially in your flesh or a new believer. One of the things that I struggle with at one point on my journey was when the scripture says the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Because I will wake up or just going on about my day, um, doing things that I know I didn't want to do. You know what I mean? And knowing that I'm praying for these things to be removed out of my life and just walk a clean path with God. But here's the thing, you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to get rid of everything. But I used to beat myself up a lot about certain things in my life. And perhaps you're doing the same thing, but don't. Don't. Crucifying your flesh requires a daily denying of your flesh. You know what I mean? And not just only that, the closer you get in the word daily or whenever, not whenever you have time, because most people seem to not have time, especially in this generation. But making time for God, the more you get in His Word, the more that you feed yourself His Word, and also knowing how to read the Bible. You know what I mean? And breaking things down, because it's one thing to read the Bible and know exactly what God is saying to you, for you, and knowing what God is saying to you about you. You have to actually learn to really study and read the Bible and get different Bibles or what best works for you. But you're also going to need a commentary Bible, because that helps breaks it down. It's different apps that I use also that helps me break down what is the Bible saying. I am now reading just starting a second book called the Book of Enoch. But keeping your mind and your flesh on the same level is just okay. I'm gonna put it this way. You heard the saying, whatever you starve dies, whatever you water grows. So if we have a plant outside and we uh, water it every day and give it sunlight, it's going to grow. But if we neglect that plant, it's not going to grow, right? So that's the same thing with your flesh. That's the same thing with your mind. Whatever you feed it, that's what's going to grow. So if you feed in your flesh daily, scriptures, reading the Bible, books, going to church, and also now everything is on YouTube, but be mindful on YouTube, praying and asking for discernment who you should listen to and who you should not listen to. But even with that, just because you may not always agree with what the pastors say on YouTube, that don't mean cancel that whole pastor out. That means just like you eating watermelon, eat it and spit the seeds out and keep it moving. But always pray for that trusted voice in your life to help you grow. But you also gonna have to do work on your own. You know what I mean? Like, you're also going to have to do work on your own, which is reading, which is studying, which is fasting, in order for you to grow. But don't beat yourself up if you don't see any changes right then, immediately, because that's not how it's going to happen. Have a good one.